Chapter 41, No One in Sight. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Secret Method and Dementia. Ling Yu was holding Ling Xiao's arm and was laughing and talking. Suddenly a strange light flashed in his eyes. The change at this moment surprised all the onlookers. Although many people know that there is such a secret method in the library, it can instantly confuse people's minds and make people lose their ability to think, but there are few who really practice. Because this secret method can only be practiced by women, and it must be the kind of woman who is naturally charming. I did not expect Ling Yu to succeed in cultivation. Ling Xiao is finished. At such a short distance, I was shocked by soul distraction, and there was no possibility of resistance. To be honest, even the referee felt that Ling Xiao had lost a bit. If Ling Xiao did it early in the morning, it would not be so. This woman is so terrible, so young, will seduce a man, and grow up. Humph. But at the next moment, an unbelievable scene appeared. It wasn't Ling Xiao who was beaten down. I saw Ling Xiao snorted, then Ling Yu screamed like he had seen a ghost, and then jumped off the competition platform insane, then crouched on the ground and shivered. Ling Xiao was also somewhat afraid. If he had practiced Niu Magong Ningxia by himself, he had a special effect of restraining this mysterious method of disturbing the mind. He was really suspended. However, Ling Yu is now self-inflicted. After such a blow, I am afraid that he will not dare to come to him in a short time. Number 9588 wins, 91 games in a row. It took a long time for the referee to remember to announce the result of the match, because at this time, even these referees did not understand what just happened. Ling Xiao didn't do anything at all, and Ling Yu was inexplicably defeated. Ling Xiao, you dare to hurt my sister Rain. I am incompatible with you. I don't know when the seed player Ling Feng has appeared beside Ling Yu. He looked at Ling Yu trembling, and he roared, almost roaring. Is it worth it for such a woman? Ling Xiao said lightly. You can't control this. As long as we meet, I will definitely make you pay. Ling Feng said angrily. Really, I'm afraid you don't have that ability. Ling Xiao smiled lightly, turned around and left. Today's Ling Feng is no longer his goal. He cares more about the top 10 of the talent hall, as well as Ling Yihang and Ling Yixue. Brother Feng. That guy is a devil. Devil. You must avenge me. Ling Yu is like a frightened rabbit, holding Ling Feng's arm and talking constantly. Relax, I will. For Ling Feng's words, Ling Xiao didn't even care about it. His fight continues. 92 winning streak. 93 games in a row. 94 winning streak. Since the game that directly frightened Ling Yu, 3 consecutive games, no one dared to fight him again. All 3 chose to give up. Everyone is not an idiot, and since they can't win, why waste their energy? Anyway, it was eliminated without losing. Perhaps it was stimulated by Ling Xiao, and Ling Xiao's start became more and more fierce. There were almost no people willing to fight Ling Xiao, so Ling Xiao also successfully relied on his opponent's abstention to complete the 94-game winning streak. After 100 winning streak, you can go to rest. I don't know if the medicine hall's Gang Qi Dan has been successfully refined. I really look forward to it. At this time, Ling Xiao, his mind is no longer in the game. He is even more looking forward to getting a breakthrough after Gang Qi Dan. He wants to go further, and the safest way is to break through to the fourfold training of Wumai. 95 games are abstaining, 96 games still abstained. It seems that there is basically no doubt about this 100-game winning streak. Just when many people think so, the situation has changed. Number. Ling Xiao against Ling Xiao. This time it's lively. The 2 people who are closest to 100 games in a row match up ahead of time, so there must be one person's winning streak to end. Boiling. The auditorium is completely boiling. Those disciples who are not qualified to advance to the finals and cannot win 100 games in a row, like to watch this lively favorite. Guess, Ling Xiao met Ling Xiao, dare to use basic martial arts. Don't make a joke. Ling Xiao is not that waste. Dare to use basic martial arts, then he will lose miserably. Although many people don't think Ling Xiao dares to use basic martial arts against Ling Xiao, but to be honest, they have such a slight expectation in their hearts. After all, it's not too much to watch the excitement. Sister Rain, I will teach you Ling Xiao for you now. Let you see, is that Ling Feng's kid good, or me? Ling Xiao was excited, because he has been looking forward to a battle with Ling Xiao. In this battle, he not only had to defeat Ling Xiao, he also had to fight Ling Xiao and could not continue to fight, and then he was eliminated. In that case, he can get the Ling Yu award. He absolutely didn't believe he would lose. Advanced martial arts combined with the strength of Wumai Triple Peak, how could he lose to a warrior who had just broken through Wumai Triple before long? Ling Xiao, if you have the ability, don't use light work. In the face of Ling Xiao, Ling Xiao's only worry is that Ling Xiao did not confront him head-on, but evaded with his body, then he was a bit troublesome. Relax, I will not only use light skills, but also deal with you. Basic martial arts is enough. Ling Xiao looked at Ling Xiao and said lightly, he was really disdainful about this kind of stupidity that had been completely confused by women, isn't it right? Also use basic martial arts. Ling Xiao didn't take Ling Zi too seriously. The scene was an uproar, because no one expected that Ling Xiao was so unpretentious. Hey, it must be bluff, and he will definitely use light work later, otherwise he will be sick of his brain. That's not necessarily, maybe this Ling Xiao is so arrogant. There is also a possibility that he only knows basic martial arts, and he cannot use anything else. It is too difficult to rely on basic martial arts to win Ling Xiao. It is almost impossible. Alas, this kid is still too impulsive, and he will be agitated by a word. At the referee seat, someone shook his head and felt a bit sorry, because even these referees felt that if Ling Xiao only used basic martial arts against Ling Xiao, he would definitely lose. They thought that Ling Xiao was hitting Ling Xiao's act. Ling Xiao didn't actually use the idea of radical method at all. He just wanted to humiliate Ling Xiao to show his strength, but he didn't expect www.wuxiaspot.com Ling Xiao would look down upon him so much. What is this, a little beggar? A foreigner child, dare to look down upon me Ling Xiao. Look down on my children of the Ling family. He felt insulted. In fact, many children of the Ling family feel insulted. This beggar-born guy is really brave and dare not to take our children of our own family into consideration. Brother Z ran, abolish him. What they say is waste. Not defeated. Because they are really angry, how can the children of the Ling family, who are above us, tolerate the provocation and insult of foreign children? Chapter 42, Best Sparring. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Oh, this guy really has the qualification to hate people, and offended so many people in one sentence. Ling Xiao has always been concerned about Ling Xiao. I was paying attention when Ling Xiao was very weak, and it is still the same today. Sister Xiao, you still laugh. This guy dared to use basic martial arts against Ling Xiao, just to death. That may not be necessary. Ling Xiao smiled, looking forward to it. On the other side, Ling Yihang's eyes, which had been closed, opened again, and he said to himself in surprise, it seems that this time the people in the talent hall are going to be surprised. What? Good. Very good. Ling Xiao, I don't know anything about life and death. Today I will let you know what is called strength. Ling Xiao's face was gloomy and terrible, and the long sword shook in his hand. He is going to abolish Ling Xiao. If it weren't for this kind of comparison, he would really kill Ling Xiao with a sword. Choose a weapon. Ling Xiao took a deep breath. No need. Ling Xiao still said indifferently. Finding death snake dance swordsmanship. Ling Xiao snorted coldly, and under the long sword's trembling, the sword instantly turned into several afterimages, like the poisonous snake spitting out the letter. Snake dance sword technique, advanced sword technique. It seems that Ling Xiao is really angry. As soon as Ling Xiao shot, he did not intend to keep his hand. The most terrifying part of snake dance sword technique is its fierceness and treacherousness. The opponent often cannot predict from what angle the long sword will pierce. Although this move is not as powerful as the powerful moves, the pressure is not inferior to those strong moves. It was as if it was being stared at by countless poisonous snakes, which made people shudder. However, although Ling Xiao's swordsmanship is strong, people are more concerned about Ling Xiao. Because everyone wants to know, does Ling Xiao say one set and one set? It is said that basic martial arts should be used, but in fact it is not. After all, there are no rules for this kind of thing. Even if he used intermediate martial arts or even advanced martial arts, no one could say anything about him. Ling Xiao did not care about everyone's eyes. Ling Xiran really does not deserve him to use a higher level of martial arts, basic martial arts are enough. Very bullish, that's still pretty cool. In the roar, the image of a savage cow was insane. Ling Xiao stood there, but did not intend to give in. It was really basic martial arts. This guy is crazy. Purely die. Brothers Iran, don't keep your hands. This guy has no one in his eyes, and he deserves to be scrapped. After being surprised, it is anger. They thought that Ling Xiao was just talking, but they didn't dare to do this. In that case, they could humiliate Ling Xiao, but they didn't expect that Ling Xiao was so honest. Speaking of doing it. Fuck. Let me go down. Ling Xiran's face was somber to the extreme, as if he could squeeze black liquid from his skin. That face was really iron blue, infuriating. The long sword in his hand suddenly disappeared, but instead condensed into a python. The python roared, and the sound was deafening, which made the martial artists nearby Wutai step back a few steps. The air was filled with a cruel atmosphere. Pretty. Ling Xiran's sword basically exerted the essence of snake dance sword technique, and it can be turned into powerful power in the treacherous way. Ling Xiao is only a triple martial arts warrior. Even if he can handle it with all his strength, he can't take this sword, let alone he dare to use basic martial arts. Although Ling Xiao's performance is amazing, but there is no one in the eyes. This kind of person does not live long. Many people are pointing, and even high-level warriors in the family, they are not optimistic about Ling Xiao. Bum! The violent roar sounded. Ling Xiran stabbed Ling Xiao with a sword. However, the situation where Ling Xiao was stabbed by a sword did not appear. Ling Xiao folded his palms together and actually caught the sword. Basic martial arts bull power does not have any special moves. It pays attention to a way of using true energy, therefore, punches, feet, and palms can actually be used. Go to die. Ling Xiran growled hysterically, almost using 10% of his true energy, and exerted the power of this trick of snake dancing and dancing to the limit. He is the triple peak warrior of Wumai, using advanced martial arts. If you can't beat Ling Xiao in one move, it's a shame. Crack! Ling Xiao looked at the long sword in Ling Xiran's hand, and suddenly his arms were filled with real energy. There was only a click. The long sword in Ling Xiran's hand was actually broken into 7 or 8. Ling Xiran spurted his blood out because of the backlash of his true energy, and his body stepped back several times before he stood firm, looking at Ling Xiao again, standing there still did not move, and did not even mean to pursue. Impossible. This is impossible. Ling Xiran completely lost his composure. He couldn't believe this situation. Obviously it was a full blow, not only did not hurt the other side, but the weapon in the hand was shocked by the opponent's true energy. What a shame. What happened just now? The disciples who looked at it were also dumbfounded. They imagined many possibilities, but this scene alone was really unexpected. Whoever lends me a weapon, my sword is so bad. Ling Xiran didn't believe he would lose to Ling Xiao. He blamed the long sword in his hand for the failure of this attack. Well, although there seems to be nothing wrong with it, it is a bit shameless to completely shirk my responsibility. Ling Xiran, then, the first to speak out was Ling Feng. He threw his sword to Ling Xiran. His sword is a sword. Compared with ordinary swords of ordinary quality, it is naturally much better. The average person may not understand why he helped Ling Xiran. Only Ling Feng knew clearly in his heart that he was somewhat afraid of Ling Xiao, so he wanted to thoroughly see through Ling Xiao's details through Ling Xiran. Thank you. Ling Xiran got the sword and looked at Ling Xiao road. This time, you lose. Snake dance swordsmanship and big python swallow. The same swordsmanship. The same move. Ling Xiran apparently wanted to completely defeat Ling Xiao with the sword in his hand and his sword skills. To be honest, Ling Xiran's sword is really good. This indeed caused some trouble for Ling Xiao, but since he dares to let Ling Xiran take the sword, you will not be afraid to read www.uukangshu.com. Very bullish. Let your wind raging. I am as stable as Tarzan. No matter how hysterical Ling Xiran is. How crazy and angry. The expression on Ling Xiao's face has not changed from beginning to end, always the kind of indifferent look, as if in his eyesight, Ling Xiao was totally worthless. Boom! Continuous battles. Ling Xiao has not used other martial arts, and he is simply fighting with Ling Xiao with his brutal strength. In doing so, he has also honed his combat experience. It is rare to have Ling Xiao as such a good sparring partner. Chapter 43, Easy Promotion. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 1 move. 2 tricks. 3 tricks. The scene of Cat Play Mouse is staged on the competition stage. How is it possible that Ling Xiao can firmly suppress Ling Xiao with only basic martial arts? What kind of monster is this guy, that even a stupid person can see that Ling Xiao can defeat Ling Xiao within a few strokes? He didn't do that because he was practicing. Ling Xiao's face was pale, and his true energy was constantly consumed, which had reached an overwhelming level. He couldn't believe it. Can't believe this situation. The opposite Xiao Xiao is like a big mountain, and he is more like a stupid wild boar. Even if it is hit countless times, it can't make dash and move. Stop it, the winner is divided. On the referee's seat, one person said aloud. No. I haven't lost yet. I haven't lost yet. Ling Xiao growled almost crazy, and then continued to attack. The referee sighed. They only have the right to suggest, not to enforce, unless Ling Xiao is hit under the competition platform, or voluntarily admits defeat, otherwise the game will not be over. How do you guys think about this contest? Anyway, I'm a little confused. The martial arts triple martial arts, with the basic martial arts, is just pressing the peak of the martial arts triple, and the people who use advanced martial arts fight. This is not reasonable. A referee frowned and asked a few humanitarians around him. Ling Xiao is calm and introverted, she is full of true energy, and her actual combat experience is more abundant. Basic martial arts have stepped into the realm. Although Ling Xiao is the triple peak of martial arts, she is not as good as Ling Xiao, and people are more impulsive, and the actual combat experience is not enough. Although it uses advanced martial arts, it can only achieve the level of 50% to 60%. An older referee nudged his beard. This person is obviously the most respected of several referees. His words are very important, although he can't see Ling Xiao's true strength, but this basic judgment is not wrong. Basic martial arts have stepped into the realm. Does basic martial arts say that there is a realm of change, that the so-called transformation of the environment means to be enchanted? Among martial arts, it is generally believed that only top martial arts have the possibility to enter the realm. It is good to be able to practice basic martial arts until the great consummation. How can it enter the realm? There is simply no precedent and cultivation method in this respect. To be honest, the old man doesn't know how he did it, but from the point of view of his process of using moves, it is almost flawless. This is the characteristic of entering the environment, that what he said is good. Most people can't achieve perfection in martial arts. Even if you practice to the great consummation, you can only exert 90% of the power. After all, it has a lot to do with the human body and human qualifications. However, stepping into the realm can bring a martial art to a perfect and flawless level. Even basic martial arts can make opponents stretched, especially those who are not so powerful. If that is the case, can he use the basic martial arts to fight all over the world? That's not true. Basic martial arts are basic martial arts after all. Even if they are fascinated, they can show their power of 10%. That's a limit. It's okay to deal with Ling Zi, who is a half-hanger. Change Ling Feng, Ling Yixue and Ling Yiheng. Waiting for others will not work. It turned out to be so, but why was he so wasteful of time promoting basic martial arts to the realm? Of course there are reasons. Compared with advanced martial arts and top martial arts, if there is a method, it is easier for basic martial arts to reach the environment, so that we can accumulate experience and provide experience for advanced martial arts and top martial arts. The man said with emotion. This Ling Xiao has been unknown for a long time, and has suddenly risen in the past half a month. It is really a rare genius character of my Ling family. The future is unlimited. In fact, the most valuable thing is that he is not yet 14 years old. But already has the calmness and old face that the master should have. which is really rare. Huh. Looks like it's finally over. During the speech, he suddenly looked at the competition platform. At this point, Ling Xiao was a little out of breath, and the continuous eruption made his true energy completely bottomed out. Ling Xiao shook his head. Such sparring was no longer qualified. It's time to end the fight. Suddenly, he protruded his right hand, gripped the tip with 2 fingers, and then kicked Ling Xiao in the chest. Ling Xiao does not have any defensive ability, and can only watch his body fly out, and then fall heavily on the field. Ling Xiao, you seriously injured so many disciples of the Ling family, you are not eligible to continue to advance. Ling Xiao was standing on the competition platform, and was full of enthusiasm. Ling Xiao, who fell under the stage, moaned in pain. His ribs were completely broken, and his internal injuries were severe. It is simply impossible to continue to participate in the competition. Either abstain or be defeated and eliminated again, only these 2 possibilities. Anyway, Ling Xiao didn't like this Ling Xiao very much. They were all from the same door. He was so vicious to start, it was better to get out as soon as possible. Brother Ling Xiao did a great job. Long live Brother Ling Xiao. This move allowed Ling Xiao's supporters to increase again. Number 9588 wins, 97 consecutive games. The people on the referee seat were all shocked. The result of this game is really beyond their expectations. Did you see it? Did you see it? I'm right, Brother Ling Xiao used basic martial arts to turn Ling Xiao. It's so cool. It's unbelievable, it really did, and it really won. The people who support Ling Xiao feel a little like dreaming. Some people pinch themselves a few times before they are sure they are not dreaming. Originally he was the focal point of 10,000 people, but this time he became the focal point. Sister Xiao, you have really good eyesight. You can actually guess such a result. Several female disciples beside Ling Xiao were also surprised. It's nothing remarkable. No matter how good the basic martial arts practice is, it is only basic martial arts after all. How can Ling Xiao compare to me? Suddenly came a cold hum next to it. It was Ling Feng. Brother Feng, you must avenge me. Ling Yu, who was snuggling next to Ling Feng at this time, was no longer qualified for promotion. He looked at Ling Xiao in the distance with resentment, and wished to cut the other side with a knife. Don't worry, Sister Rain. www.wuxiaspot.com. You can rest assured to recuperate. Speaking of which, he suddenly looked at Ling Xiao and said aloud, Ling Xiao, if you have the ability, you can win 100 straight games and advance to it. When you meet me, I will let you know what basic martial arts are shit. It's scrap. His voice was directly transmitted from the stand to the contest stand. It seems to be intentional, because he was so confident, he never thought he would lose. Relax, to deal with you, basic martial arts is enough. Ling Xiao is also confident. As long as Ling Feng does not condense his qi, he can definitely win by virtue of his strength. It's just that you might have to use Xuanhuan. After all, Ling Feng is not Ling Xiao. He is at least 3 times stronger than Ling Xiao. It is really a bit difficult to simply use basic martial arts. It can be matched with Xuanhuan more than enough. Chapter 44, 0 People Fighting. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hearing Ling Xiao's words, Ling Feng's complexion suddenly turned green. He didn't expect Ling Xiao to look down on Ling Zi, but he dared to look down on him so much. Okay. Just wait and see. Ling Xiao smiled faintly, without saying anything, but continued to complete his game. In the next 3 games, the opponent took the initiative to concede defeat, so he easily won 100 consecutive victories. Congratulations to Ling Xiao, number 9588, the only one who has won 100 games in a row and successfully advanced to the roster of thousands. Promoting to the list of thousands of people means that you have entered the elite hall and are no longer the bottom disciples. This makes countless people envious. It was already late at this time, but there was still light. Others were still competing, but Ling Xiao quietly left the contest. In his view, only Ling Xiao, Ling Yihang, and the people of Tiankai Tang could pose a threat to him today. At this time these people did not play. It might as well just go home and have a good rest. Before going home, he went to the medicine hall. What's the matter, little guy, is this eliminated? Should the competition still be underway? In the medicine hall, Ling Xiao happened to meet Ling Xiao, and there was another middle-aged man who should be Ling Feng's father. It was Ling Xiao who asked the question, full of satire. It's Jui, I passed 100 consecutive victories and advanced in advance. Ling Xiao arched his hand, and then said a little lightly, so he went to find the teacher in the medicine hall thousands of times, the embarrassment of Ling Xiao and Ling Feng's father's face only. Ha ha ha, 9 lords, this kid had bullied your home Ling Chong a lot, can't he let him continue to trample? After a while, Ling Feng's father suddenly said with a smile. It's okay to be promoted, the Iron Hand will pick him up. That's not necessarily, we can't eliminate him from our family style first. The two of them obviously still did not put Ling Xiao in their eyes, thinking that with Ling Tai hands or Ling Feng, they could easily defeat Ling Xiao. At the time of their chat, Ling Xiao had taken Gang Qidan and left, a total of 3. Ling Xiao didn't want these two people to see it, otherwise it would cause trouble in playing, so he walked from the back door, back home, eating some dumplings, grandpa's handmade dumplings. Ling Xiao entered the practice room and began to practice. A Gang Qi pill enters the belly. In one night, his third meridian had increased to 90%, it's almost 10% off and it should be able to break through. But there are still competitions today, so he put 2 Gangqi Dan into the practice room, and people left to participate in the competition. Yesterday it was said that the contest lasted until the middle of the night, and the final 1,000 were decided. After all, such a showdown can only be regarded as rookies pecking at each other, not much meaning, except for the bright spots like Ling Xiao. Everyone else is quite satisfactory, and it is over quickly. It is reasonable to make the following more wonderful showdown. The next day, more than 900 advanced disciples, plus 10 seed players, gathered on the competition square. Ling Xiao is looking forward to today's matchup, because after one day's duel yesterday, he obviously found that his actual combat experience has made great progress, and his cultivation practice has also been improved to a certain extent. This shows that such a fight is definitely good for him, not a waste of time. Today, the 1,000 of you here are all qualified to enter the elite hall. However, in today's game, you, 1,000, will eliminate most of them, and only the individual will be left to participate in the final. Let me read the following rules of the game. The rules for the semi-finals are very different from the preliminary rounds. It is divided into 2 stages. In the first stage, 1,000 people are divided into 10 groups, each group of 100 people, then the 100 people were put on the big competition platform at the same time, and the last 10 people left could be promoted to the second stage, also known as chaos. The reason why high-level officials arrange this is naturally because of their reasons. A warrior can't just be strong one-on-one, you also need to learn to protect yourself during chaos. When he heard this first stage, Ling Xiao laughed, because at this stage there is no difficulty for him, he doesn't even need to shoot, just use his dexterous body to avoid attacks. Anyway, the real challenge is the second stage. 10 people from each group are selected, and a total of 100 people will be ranked in a point system. The top 10 with the most points will be promoted to the final stage. At that time, he must have met Ling Feng, Ling Yixue, Ling Yihang and others. That would be a real battle, so in this first stage, if you can do it without effort, try not to try it. After the rules were read out, Ling Xiao was placed in the 10th group. The strongest in the same group was Ling Fei, ranked 10th, that is, the person who once competed with Ling Xiao and was defeated. At the beginning of the game, the situation was a bit subtle. I don't know if it was agreed in advance. The remaining 99 people actually attacked Ling Xiao at the same time. This is okay too. There are really many offended people. It's not an offense. I'm afraid someone is jealous and doesn't want him to move on. What should we do? Even if Ling Yihang, even Ling Fifan, I'm afraid I can't say that he is undefeated in the face of these 99 people. What should I do? Cold salad. Although it is a pity, it is estimated that he is really going to be eliminated. Although many people squeezed Khan for Ling Xiao, they felt it was a bit unfair to him, but as long as they didn't violate the rules, no one else could say anything. However, the next scene made these people startled and happy. I saw Ling Xiao sitting cross-legged in the air, about 20 meters high, actually able to maintain a quarter of an hour. After a quarter of an hour, he landed, and he rose again in an instant. Let others not attack him, or even touch his corner. Originally, Ling Fei also wanted to take advantage of more people. Seeing this scene, he simply gave up. The ghost is against that monster. Oh my god, what kind of light is this? You can hover in the air for almost a quarter of an hour. I don't know. Is there such a light work in the library? Xiang Yunbu, in the dark corner, Ling Xiao punched the wall fiercely. He didn't expect that he forcibly robbed Xiang Yunbu and Bull Magic Gong from Ling Xiao's hands, but Yu read the book www.yuyukeungshu.com, but neither his pro son nor his dry son could cultivate, become a wicked person but get no benefit, harm others and disadvantage yourself, that's all. Now that Ling Xiao actually practiced Xiang Yunbu, he almost spurted blood on the wall. The reason why those people will all aim at Ling Xiao is that he secretly made a mistake. The result turned into a joke. About an hour later, 1,000 people eliminated 900 people, leaving only the last 100. Ling Xiao is the easiest one to pass, but Ling Yiheng, Ling Yixue, Ling Feng and Ling Tai did not have much effort, because few people dare to take action against them. After all, there are 10 people who can stay. Whoever shoots these people first may be eliminated first, and those with a little brain will not do that. Chapter 45, Frost Palm. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Then rest for half an hour and move freely. After the end of the first phase, there is a half-hour break in the middle. Ling Xiao ate something, and then recovered her qi. After half an hour, the second stage of the game began. For 100 people, each person's initial points are 0, 3 points for a win, 1 point for a tie, and 0 points for a loss. The top 10 finalists can advance to the finals and compete against the disciples of Tiancating. The game starts now. At the command of the chief referee, the warriors became nervous, because this 100-person matchup is completely random. There is a possibility of encountering anyone. 20 contests were used at the same time. Generally speaking, each disciple must have 99 matches. In other words, you have to fight with 99 other people, so escaping doesn't make much sense. But some people feel that they meet the master later, at least they can always maintain their fighting spirit, otherwise, the morale will be low. Number 24 to number 98. Number 6 versus number 11. As the referee read out the match number, the warriors also jumped onto the 20 contests in turn. Number, 20 contests competed at the same time. In fact, the speed was very fast. Soon it was the turn of Ling Xiao. The opponent is a chubby triple fat man. Hey, brother Ling Xiao, I came up to tell you that you will be my idol in the future. The next fat man smiled, turned and jumped off the competition platform. Confess. In fact, this is too normal. The previous games also took the initiative to admit defeat. The reason is very simple. When meeting an opponent who is absolutely impossible to win, it is better to simply admit defeat than to forcibly fight and waste real energy. Anyway, if you lose, no points will be deducted. You can get 3 points if you win. Many people are very clear about this account. Ling Xiao has no accidents. Before that, there were thousands of people in the process of chaos, but he has accumulated a lot of popularity, coupled with the triple peak of Wumai. Ling Xiren, who used advanced martial arts, was easily defeated by him. Anyone who is a little self-knowledge will not bump into him. The game is fast, because the game has a time limit. If the battle cannot be resolved within a quarter of an hour, the referee may give a result. Otherwise, some people are of equal strength, and may not be able to decide the victory or defeat for a few days and nights, which is troublesome. Soon, Ling Xiao met his second opponent. This is a female disciple. Good looks, especially those eyes, can hook the soul, and some match with Ling Yu, but this strength is worse than Ling Yu. Brother Ling Xiao, you just make a family fight. How about a draw? Is it good for others to be your girlfriend? That if you change someone else, I'm afraid I will be fooled by this woman. Look at the people who have hearts in the eyes of the audience. They basically account for the majority, and you know how powerful this woman is. Compared with Ling Yu's ability to seduce people, it is really not bad. It's a pity that with Ling Yu, Ling Xiao naturally has a resistance to beautiful women. Coupled with the woman's request, he was sick of him. Very bullish, that without any nonsense, he slammed the girl off the stage with just one palm. He will vomit when he looks at this woman more. You. You beast! You don't know the style. That the girl sat on the ground and cried, crying, causing those male disciples to squint at Ling Xiao. Too much, the other party is also a girl, so violent. That's right, don't cry, beauty, wait for a while and I'll take the stage to teach the kid. Just blow it, even Ling Zi can't beat it, and still hit Ling Xiao. The leather has blown through the sky. Obviously, not everyone feels that Ling Xiao has done something wrong. Ling Xiao also had a group of determined fans among the crowd. This is the benefit of strength. 9,588 wins, 6 points accumulated. That the referee quickly read the result. This son is a talent for creation. Even the female color can't affect him, and it will definitely become the atmosphere in the future. That the referees are very important to Ling Xiao. The game continues. Ling Xiao's score is also increasing. When meeting his opponent, he will either abstain, either he flew off the court by one stroke. In order to avoid trouble, Ling Xiao started not too light. It is to warn those who have no self-knowledge to provoke him. Because he wants to save his strength to facilitate his opponents who can threaten him. Can't see to what extent the strength of Ling Xiao has reached. I always feel that he still hides his strength. More and more people think that Ling Xiao cannot only understand basic martial arts, he must have learned other martial arts. It's just that there is no shot. The expectations for him are also growing. Ling Xiao finished his competition, and did not forget to observe the competition between Ling Yiheng, Ling Yixue and Ling Feng, because in his view, only these three people can pose a threat to him. Number 2 versus number 4. Okay. Ling Xiao heard this voice and quickly looked around. Sure enough, Ling Yixue and Ling Tai were standing on one of the competition platforms. Ling Taiho currently ranks 4th in Elite Hall, Ling Yixue ranked 2nd in the Elite Hall. The 2nd and 4th duel, this time can be hilarious, ha ha ha. Many people have gathered in the past. Such battles are rare. Ling Xiao naturally refused to miss such a wonderful matchup, so he also floated over. There should be some time before his next matchup, just to see the lively. To be honest, he has not seen Ling Yixue's shot yet. Today may be a feast for the eyes. When he passed, the battle had already begun. The 9th style of the palm of the giant spirit. As soon as Ling Tai's hand came up, he pressed every step of the way without leaving his hand. The power of terror turned into a phantom of a giant behind his body. The power of terror was shocking. Ling Yixue took a wait-and-see attitude. She didn't rush out when she came up, but she evaded with her clever body. Ling Xiao was a little surprised that Ling Tai's strength was much stronger than the time he encountered when he signed up. The moves are more powerful and more skillful, fully exerted the power of 90% of advanced martial arts. In other words, his dragon spirit palm is already considered a great consummation, but it has not yet entered the realm. If simple horizontal comparison, Ling Tai's hand at this time is even more powerful than Li Xingyun in Fulong Mountain. Of course, Li Xingyun's strength has not improved, he would not know. Ling Tai, your strength is not weak, but unfortunately not my opponent. A moment later www.wuxiaspot.com Ling Yixue started to fight back. During the talk, the surrounding air seemed to freeze suddenly. Her palms were dyed bizarre white, like gloves woven from snowflakes. Advanced martial arts frozen palm. Some people recognize the martial arts moves used by Ling Yixue. It is said that if you want to practice ice palm, you must often be in the ice and snow. Sister Yixue is afraid that she will suffer a lot. It's certain to endure hardship. I heard that she often goes to her family's ice cellar to practice alone, but once this hengbingsheng becomes horrible. Yeah, if you touch anything, you can freeze it. This is really terrible advanced martial arts. Ling Tai hands are dangerous. There are also high-ranking people in the lively people. They may not recognize Ling Xiao's Xiang Yunbu, but as long as they are martial arts in the bookstore, they can all recognize it. Chapter 46, Amazing Defense. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ling Yixue finally fought back, the palms were shot, and the air was suddenly frozen, and Ling Tai's hand on the opposite side had already formed a piece of ice. Ling Tai's hands were overwhelmed and backed away in a hurry. However, it doesn't make much sense. Although Ling Yixue's body is not as good as Ling Xiao, it is stronger than Ling Tai's hand, and a palm is printed on Ling Tai's chest. Ling Tai's upper body froze instantly. Ling Xiao, that the referee gave the judgment in time, and the result was already obvious. Hearing the referee's voice, Ling Xiao withdrew his slender hands, and the ice burst instantly. With cold sweat behind Ling Tai's hands, he looked at Ling Xiao in horror. I'm not your opponent. That he knew very clearly that if Ling Xiao had attacked from the beginning, he might not be able to support 3 moves. Sister Xiao's strength is too strong. Ling Tai, who ranked 4th, was defeated so easily, that the elite masters are all surprised. They knew that Ling Xiao was powerful, but they did not expect Ling Xiao to be so powerful. They still remember clearly that a month ago, Ling Xiao had played against Ling Tai, although Ling Xiao also won, but it was a terrible victory. But today, winning is so easy and comfortable. Afraid to be in the elite hall, only Ling Yihang and Ling Feng are qualified to compete with Ling Xiao. No, Ling Xiao is definitely not the opponent of Ling Yihang. The monster of Ling Yihang has already broken through the fourfold of Wumai, but Ling Feng and Ling Xiao can be compared. In any case, the top 3 of the elite hall are still the top 3 of the elite hall at this time. So far, Ling Yihang, Ling Xiao and Ling Feng have all won, and no one can challenge their position. These 3 people have naturally become the focus of everyone's attention. Whether they can challenge the rule of Tiancating depends on these 3 people. As for Ling Xiao, although the performance is excellent, in most people's view, it can't be compared with the top 3. After reading the comparison between Ling Xiao and Ling Tai, Ling Xiao also returned to the competition stage, because he ushered in his next opponent. It is a relatively strong opponent. This person is Ling Cheng, because he lost to Ling Feng, so he dropped from the original ranking to 5th, but even so, he is still very characteristic in the top 10 of the elite hall. The most terrifying thing about this man is to practice kung fu. If he can't break his defense, then wait for his abuse. So far, Ling Cheng has lost only 2 games, one to Ling Yihang and one to Ling Xiao, all of which are automatically admitted, and he has not met Ling Feng and Ling Tai, so this result is already very good. Ling Xiao, you should take the initiative to concede defeat. I don't want to waste energy on you. I still have to be true to deal with Ling Feng. Ling Cheng once lost to Ling Feng, so he always wanted to take revenge. He did not put Ling Xiao in his eyes at all, only Ling Feng in his eyes. Off stage, people who don't like Ling Xiao are gloating. Let your kid run wild. Now meet the strong man now. It should be said that it is not unreasonable for these people to be blissful. After all, to the present position, Ling Xiao encountered the strongest opponent, and this Ling became. Relax, brother Ling Cheng, I will help you defeat Ling Feng. Ling Xiao said lightly. Boy is really rampant. How can you defeat Ling Feng? Really shameless to the face. In this case, I will defeat you with 3 strokes, so as not to waste energy. Ling Xiao smiled and said, I heard that brother Ling Cheng's horizontal practice is good. It happens that my bull power can also be used as a horizontal practice. Brother may wish to try 3 tricks. If I lose, I will automatically admit defeat. That he is totally eye to eye, tooth to tooth. You look down on me, I still look down on you. You. Ling Cheng was so angry that his teeth tickled. He had a high degree of self-esteem. This is your fight, don't blame me. Ling Xiao said nothing more. He stood there and exhibited the basic martial arts of bull power, but this time it was not an attack, but a defense. True chi is attached to the body surface, forming a film that is almost visible to the naked eye. Don't look at it as a film, but the defense is amazing. This kid just used bull power to live. The old man on the referee's bench said with emotion. Anyone who can use bull power as a defense is afraid that it is only possible after entering the environment. Our Ling family may be the only one who can do it. So it's mysterious. Ling Cheng's fists were clenched tightly, and a layer of golden chi was wrapped around his fists. The fists turned into gold casting. That terrifying power is absolutely no less than an attack using weapons. What a powerful force. Yeah, this should be the advanced boxing technique Vajra boxing, combined with the horizontal training of King Kong, the power is even greater. Oh, everyone knows that Ling Cheng's defense is amazing. In fact, many people don't know that he is the only genius who can use horizontal training to attack. Even with this attack, even Ling Feng and Ling Xiao dare not be hard pick it up. Ling Xiao is too big. Everyone's comments have explained everything. No one is optimistic about Ling Xiao, who feels that Ling Xiao has become proud of her winning streak. It didn't matter because the opponent was not good before, but this time Ling Cheng, who was ranked 5th in the elite hall, dared to do so. Listening to the words of everyone, Ling Xiao just smiled lightly. What is Ling Cheng's level? His mountain and river martial arts has long been clearly analyzed. In fact, he is no better than Ling Xiran, who is ranked 1st. They are all the martial arts triple peak martial arts, all are advanced martial arts. Speaking of the gap, it is the gap between the power of moves and combat skills. In fact, in addition to the first 3 in the elite hall, those in the back of Ling Xiao's view are likely to challenge each other. Boom. Ling Cheng's double fists blasted directly on Ling Xiao's body, making a loud noise, and the entire Baiwutai shook a few times. However, what is shocking is that Ling Xiao still smiled without frowning. No, the defense of Bull Bull is so terrifying. Ling Cheng was shocked in his heart, as if 10,000 cows had run by, completely ignorant. In one move, the height of the two can already be seen. One was motionless, and the other as the attacker was shocked to take 2 steps back before he stood firm. Everyone in the audience was even more shocked and inexplicable, and all the hearts of them turned up the turbulent waves. To be honest, before Ling Xiao, no one had paid much attention to the basic martial arts such as Ban Nyo Jin. They all regard it as a springboard, and after learning martial arts at a higher level, they throw it away. Who would have thought that the performance of Bull Bull power in Ling Xiao's hands became so terrifying? Ling Cheng stabilized his body and looked at Ling Xiao in horror. This monster. This guy's defense is almost watertight. Ling Xiao just smiled faintly. www.wuxiaspot.com still stood like that, totally meaningless. After analyzing the defense of Wu Wuhan in mountain and river, the defense of natural bull power has reached the conclusion that as long as it is below the triple peak of the Wu Mai, a warrior who does not use gang gas can basically not break his defense. This is just the Ban Nyo gene of transcendence. Ling Xiao hasn't used the Nyo Magong Maniu Huama after the promotion, not to mention, he also has Nyo Magong Chi Chi Ju to cooperate. In addition, he hasn't moved at all until now. I really don't know who is qualified to force him to display all his abilities. Is Ling Yihan okay? Or the top 10 in Tiancating? Chapter 47, Indestructible. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At this time, the battle on the stage had a short pause, but there is no doubt that the battle between Ling Xiao and Ling Cheng has become the focus of all competitions, just like the battle between Fang Kai Ling Yixue and Ling Tai. How do I feel that Ling Xiao's defense is stronger than Ling Cheng's? Ling Yixue, who had dealt with Ling, murmured to herself. It's impossible, Sister Yixue. Natural bull power is not a special defense technique, and it is just a basic martial art. How can it be comparable to Brother Ling Cheng's advanced defense technique Vitra? Ling Xiao, I admire your courage, but if your defense is like that, then you will lose today. Ling Cheng was angry. Just that punch. He did not do his utmost, and only used 7 success forces, because he wanted to retain more real energy to deal with Ling Feng, but this time, he didn't plan to keep his hand anymore. 10 success forces diamond boxing. Okay. Ling Xiao frowned. Ling Cheng's punch was obviously more powerful than the last punch. Then I will use 10 successful forces to resist it. He lightly wrote a sentence, but almost spitting Ling Cheng angry. After a long time, he didn't use all his strength to defend, which is really good. Boom! There was another loud noise. Ling Xiao still does not move, but Ling Cheng flew out with a back shock, and finally stabilized his figure. The greater the attack power, the greater the anti-shock. So horrible. Who can break Ling Xiao's defense? I don't believe this evil. Ling Cheng took out a pair of gloves from his close pocket. The gloves were obviously made of special materials. That's an ordinary treasure, and it has a bonus effect on attacks. Generally speaking, it can increase the power of 20%. On the referee seat, some people have already seen that the gloves in Ling Cheng's hands are not ordinary objects. In addition to worldly weapons, there are treasures, spirits, reals, fairies, and artifacts in this world. And light is a treasure, and it is divided into 5 grades of ordinary, fine, treasure, fairy and god. The children of the Ling family, few people have ever seen treasures, let alone spiritual weapons. That is, the warriors on the referee's bench were well informed, so they recognized the glove at a glance. Ha ha ha, this is a treasure of all kinds, I think you dare not resist it. Ling Qing laughed wildly, he felt that he couldn't even break Ling Xiao's defense. It was really shameful, so he didn't plan to keep his hands this time. With the 10 success forces and all the treasures, he didn't believe Ling Xiao could stop it, unless Ling Xiao also has a defensive treasure. Then what happens? Just come on. Ling Xiao knows that it is definitely unstoppable to rely on bull power alone. This time, you must use courage secret to improve the defense effect of bull power, otherwise it will be really troublesome. In the end, the other party is the elite in the elite hall, which is more powerful than he thought. Yeah. In the roar of Ling Cheng, double fists blasted out again. At that moment, Ling Xiao exhibited the violent secret. The film on the body was obviously thickened a lot, even exuding a faint luster. What? With a scream, Ling Cheng was blasted out again. This time he failed to stand up, but fell directly to the ground and collapsed. Ling Cheng, ranked 5th in the elite hall, was defeated by Ling Xiao without a move. Everyone on the field looked stunned. They thought that Ling Xiao's strength should be no problem in the top 20, it is even possible to enter the top 10, after all, Ling Xiran, who ranked 20th, could beat the 11th ranked disciple in a $10,000 competition. Ling Xiao defeated Ling Xiran. Although there are pressures to enter the top 10, it is estimated that it is not a problem. But they still didn't expect that Ling Xiao won the effort to win Ling in the 5th place. Ling Xiao's expression is too amazing, too eye-catching. Now someone finally started to treat him with Ling Yihang, Ling Yixue, and Ling Feng. This child is really terrifying. He actually practiced the secret methods breakdown secret and returning secret. A warrior like him can generally not take care of both secret recipes. Yeah, how many secrets are still hidden in his body? The wonderful technique before, now 2 kinds of secrets, I really look forward to it. But he should have reached the limit. He should have used it. It is estimated that it is slightly stronger than Ling Tai. It is not possible to challenge the top 3. I think that too, unless he has no other means to show it. In the stands, there were also many middle and high-level Ling families, as well as martial artists. They made a judgment and analysis of Ling Xiao. I was all surprised, but it didn't seem to be very optimistic about Ling Xiao surpassing Ling Feng, Ling Yixue, and Ling Yihang. However, the reality is that Ling Yihang, Ling Yixue, Ling Feng, and Ling Xiao are the 4 disciples who have maintained a victory, although this is because they haven't fought yet. Even so, Ling Xiao's defeat of Ling Cheng has shown his horror. Ling Xiao is definitely a real dark horse among these 4 people, and many people actually like this kind of spoiler the most. Therefore, Ling Xiao's popularity is actually a sign of being close to the top 3, becoming the 4th most popular in this knockout, from a small beggar bully to a warrior who is so popular today. In addition to Ling Xiao's hard work, of course, the most grateful thing is Shan Wu Hun. If it weren't for the awakening of Wu Wushuan in the mountains and rivers, he probably wouldn't have the scenery of today. Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao. Every time Ling Xiao took the stage, many people shouted his name. Among them there were some pretty female disciples who were very good-looking. This made Ling Xiao somewhat happy. After all, which teenager does not contemplate spring? After this year, he is also 14 years old, and has some ignorant understanding of the feelings of men and women. Of course, he also gave back to the audience with his excellent record. Continue winning streak. More and more people directly admit defeat after seeing him, unwilling to admit defeat, unless he is in the top 10, otherwise he still can't pass the trick. Even if it is the top 10, it cannot pass 3 strokes. Of course, he still did not meet Ling Yihang, Ling Yixue, and Ling Feng. In the process, Ling Xiao met several interesting opponents, like Ling Chong, this bully who used to bully him, but now he is always bullied by him. After seeing him directly admit defeat, Ling Chong didn't want to break a few more ribs, and Ling Fei. Yu reading www.yuukangshu.com. People who have tried light skills with Ling Xiao have also admitted directly. Ling Fei had seen Ling Xiao's light merit in the chaos of thousands of people before. He knew that he could not win. It might as well save a little effort. The most incredible thing for everyone is that when Ling Tai met Ling Xiao, he even chose to admit defeat. Some people think that Ling Tai's hands were frightened by Ling Xiao, but Ling Xiao knows best, although this Ling Tai's hand is fierce and vicious, but his brain is not stupid. He probably saw Ling Xiao's power, so he wanted to maintain his combat effectiveness and use it against other people. After all, this is a point system. It doesn't matter if you lose one game, or even lose 3 or 4 games. What's scary is that it is too bad, or you are injured and lose to someone who shouldn't. Chapter 48, The Beginning of Qi. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ling Xiao to Ling Feng. After a few more rounds, a heavyweight matchup began. Ling Xiao ranked 2nd in the elite hall, against Ling Feng ranked 3rd. This battle naturally attracted everyone's attention again, including Ling Yihang and Ling Xiao, 2 people who have maintained a winning streak. Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao. Ling Feng. Ling Feng. In terms of the number of fans, Ling Xiao and Ling Feng are equal. One is a talented beauty, one is a genius disciple in this race. Each has its own fans, so when they came on stage, there were almost crazy cries and cheers from the audience. Ling Xiao, you have repeatedly rejected my showing of love. It was an insult to me. Today I will make you completely regret it. For Ling Feng, Ling Xiao is his ideal partner. As for Ling Yu, it's just a substitute. It's a pity that Luo Hua deliberately flowed mercilessly, and Ling Xiao didn't take him seriously. Today's duel, he naturally wants to retaliate. Emotional things can't be forced, let alone I just want to practice now. Ling Xiao said lightly. There was no wave in her face, and it seemed that she did not put Ling Feng's provocation in her eyes at all, choking. Ling Feng's sword is out of the sheath. Follow the willow sword draws an irregular sword mark, which is fast and slow, making it impossible to catch. The most terrifying part of this swordsmanship is its treacherousness. When you think it is fast, it suddenly slows down. When you think it is slow, it suddenly becomes faster. Ling Xiao did not dare to be indifferent. Her palms came out together. The air of ice spewed abruptly. It seemed that the air was frozen in back. Everyone on the stage did not dare to take a breath. After all, this is a duel between the 2nd and 3rd. In an instant, the palms wrapped in ice greeted the strange long sword. However, he only touched the following lightly, and the long sword suddenly changed direction, stabbed towards Ling Xiao's waist. Fighting is not all tough. Ling Feng's Fu Lu Jian with the wind may not be as powerful as Frost Palm, but the tricky place is far superior to Han Bing Palm. But Ling Xiao is not an easy generation. The long sword struck her, her figure retreated, and she easily avoided the blow. Alas, Ling Xiao does not have family support, only by his own efforts. If he does not turn the gas into a gang, I am afraid to lose. After 10 strokes, Ling Xiao shook her head gently. He actually hoped that Ling Xiao would win, but looking at it like this, Ling Feng's sword tricks are really not to be underestimated, and the long sword in his hand is also a valuable treasure. Ling Xiao was bare-handed, which was a disadvantage. On the field, you come and go, and you have already done 100 tricks. However, neither side was injured. Ling Feng's sword never touched Ling Xiao's clothing corner, and Ling Xiao could not hurt Ling Feng. Simply talking about martial arts, maybe the two are equally matched. The battle soon entered a stalemate, and someone on the referee seat was already paying attention to the time. But it was really difficult for the referee to decide who lost or won in this game, because the two are clearly equal. No one can hurt anyone. It seems that it can only be a tie. You guys, it looks like this contest will end in a draw. The chief referee looked at several people around him and discussed. That's not necessarily. Feng'er hasn't used his whole cards yet. That it was not the referee who spoke, but Ling Xing, who did not know when to stand near the referee seat. That is Ling Feng's father. Are there any cards? Several referees were shocked. They wouldn't think Ling Xing was making alarmist talks. There must be a reason for this. Look, the situation has changed. At this moment, someone suddenly shouted, causing everyone to hurry to look up. On the competition stage, the battle situation really changed a lot. After about 200 strokes, Ling Feng avoided Ling Xiao's palm attack, then suddenly retreated and swept away with a sword, a seemingly bland sword, but shot a strange sword gas. Who? Ding! Okay. Although Ling Xiao blocked this sword energy, he was still penetrated by the defense, and an arm was shot through a small hole. With a snort, he flew out of the contest. Gang! Ling Xiao looked up at Ling Feng with a look of surprise in her eyes. However, it was just a surprise. Well, let him win, my gangsters can't show up at this time. That she also has gang gas, and more than Ling Feng, but she has her own ideas. Gang gas is used in the finals, and it is not needed now. Actually turn Qi into gang. No wonder Ling Xian was so confident that his son actually condensed gang Qi. On the referee seat, everyone was surprised. Although there are many warriors in the triple peak of Wumai, they can truly comprehend the uncommon. Unexpectedly, this time the elite hall actually two people realized the gang Qi. Ling 13, your son is hiding deep enough, and he has only used gang gas until now. His talent is really amazing. It seems that the top 10 of this year's competition will have him a place. The referee said with emotion. Ling 13 just smiled lightly and said, the elders are well known, but the dogs are just rude. Although he said so on his mouth, Ling Xian's face was uncontrollable excitement. His son Ling Feng is only 15 years old. At this age, he can enter the top 10 of the Genius Hall, which is already very powerful. Ling Fengsheng, the referee announced the result of the game. Strange, how do you feel that Ling Xiao didn't seem to use her full strength? Ling Xiao touched his chin suspiciously. Although the result had come out, he always had a feeling Ling Xiao is still stronger than Ling Feng, just hiding something. Ling Feng, the victory over Ling Xiao made Ling Feng's popularity unprecedented for a while, and even had the momentum to surpass Ling Yihang. After all, looking at the lively, I don't know how terrible Ling Yihang is. Xiao, why not? Do you want to use your gang against me? Ling Yihang didn't know when he appeared beside Ling Xiao, and asked lightly. How come? I just want to rely more on the finals. Since it was seen, Ling Xiao did not conceal. Relax, Ling Feng, let me clean up. Ling Yihang just said a little lightly, and then closed his eyes again. It seems that the competition on the field, there is no other game that can arouse his interest. Ling Feng looked at Ling Yihang, and felt dull, then looked at Ling Xiao again, with disdain and resentment between his eyebrows. The next one is you, Ling Xiao. Brother Feng, you are great. Waiting for Ling Feng to step down. www.wuxiaspot.com. Ling Yu actually stepped onto the stage to plunge into Ling Feng's arms, and then looked at Ling Xiao with a provocative look, that seems to be saying, how do you beat me? My wind brother will avenge me. Ling Xiao just smiled lightly. It's really stupid enough to think that a trace of gas has condensed. Can you suppress me? You are only qualified to force me to use Bull Demon skill. Mani Bull Demon. However, your Fu Lu Jian with the wind is not bad, so I will play with you later. The game continued. After Ling Xiao lost, only 3 people remained in a row, namely Ling Yihang, Ling Feng and Ling Xiao. To everyone, Ling Xiao is nothing more than a foil. Ling Yihang and Ling Feng are the elite double arrogance of the elite hall, and their rivalry will inevitably become the finale. Chapter 49, Enemies Get Together. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ling Yihang, Ling Feng, peerless arrogance. Perhaps the referees thought so too, so deliberately put Ling Yihang's duel with Ling Feng at the end. Of course, Ling Xiao's duel with Ling Feng was also slightly behind. Let the black horse of Ling Xiao go a little farther to make the game more exciting. Ling Xiao did not disappoint them. Before meeting Ling Feng, he won all the way in a row and even defeated several people in the top 10 of the elite hall. Popularity is also rising. Finally, Ling Xiao met Ling Feng after defeating everyone except Ling Yihang and Ling Feng in the top 10. The last game was Ling Xiao and Ling Xiao's duel, but it didn't last long. After only 3 strokes, Ling Xiao took the initiative to admit defeat. Ling Xiao is so clever, knowing that even if he uses Gangqi, he is definitely not Ling Xiao's opponent. It is too worthless to waste Gangqi in this kind of battle. This time it's hilarious, both Ling Feng and Ling Xiao defeated Ling Xiao, evenly matched. Which is evenly matched, brother Ling Feng defeated by strength, and Ling Xiao was just released. That is, with Ling Xiao's strength, how could it be possible to win in 3 strokes? It is estimated that Ling Xiao thinks that the points are enough, so he deliberately admits to lose. Sure enough, most people still feel that Ling Feng, who used Gangqi, is stronger. As for Ling Xiao, the winning streak will end here. Ling Xiao, kneel down to admit defeat. I cannot hurt you, otherwise, at least you have to lie in bed for a month, don't even want to participate in the finals. At this point there are 3 matchups left until the end of the game, they are Ling Xiao to Ling Feng to Ling Yihang, Ling Yihang to Ling Xiao. Even if Ling Xiao loses all, he can still advance. Therefore, the only way to prevent Ling Xiao from participating in the finals is to seriously hurt Ling Xiao and let Ling Xiao completely cut off her thoughts. Ling Feng did not put Ling Xiao in his eyes at all, especially after defeating Ling Yixue. In his view, only Ling Yihang was qualified to be his opponent in the entire elite hall. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. Originally I just wanted to defeat you, but since you are so vicious, then I will let you lie in bed for a month. He was telling the truth, but he didn't want to continue to deepen his hatred, but the other party's viciousness made him change his mind. People don't commit me, I don't commit. If anyone commits me, I will commit an offense. Ling Xiao's words made Ling Feng suddenly angry. This kid is now, and he dared to disrespect him. He doesn't want to think about it. You have to make people unable to participate in the finals, people still have to respect you. Isn't that a fool? The visitors on the floor were also shocked. I thought that Ling Xiao had clearly seen the terrible situation of Ling Feng, and actually dared to confront each other. If he didn't have the real skills, he couldn't explain it. It's useless to say more, fight. When you are lying on the hospital bed, I might send some kindness and send some supplements, ha ha ha. Ling Feng gritted his teeth. Let's start. Ling Xiao is too lazy to talk nonsense with Ling Feng. His goal is Ling Yihang. Only by defeating Ling Yihang, he can become the first knockout. Elite Hall first. In order to really raise his eyebrows. As for the number 1 in the competition, to be honest, with his current strength, he is not very sure that Ling Fifan is too strong, so we must continue to hone and improve. Fortunately, there will be a few days of rest after the knockout, maybe some breakthroughs can be made. Choking. Ling Feng has pulled out his long sword, which is still a seemingly ordinary sword, and still makes many people shudder. Who? The long sword pierced Ling Xiao with great speed. Ling Feng's body style does not seem to be weak. You'd better use your anger as soon as possible, otherwise you won't have any chance. Ling Xiao just wanted to try what it's like to fight with a warrior who possesses qi. The previous battles were too boring for him, no challenge at all. You are not qualified yet. Ling Feng's gang qi is not much, only the true qi of the first meridian condenses into gang qi, so he actually dared not use it. Of course, in his opinion, Ling Xiao is not worthy of letting him use gang qi, and with the great perfect Fu Lu Jian with the wind combined with Deshang's advanced body style, he does not believe that he can't win Ling Xiao. Choke. A weird sword shadow suddenly pierced Ling Xiao from below. This change was so fast that Ling Xiao felt a little surprised. Of course, it was just an accident. However, the crowd onlookers all exclaimed. They thought Ling Xiao was going to lose. Ling Xiao was only indifferent, but he reached out with his right hand, his fingers pointed at the tip of the sword. Roll. His fingertips were breathing out, and a sudden shock. Ling Feng actually felt a numbness in his right hand. The long sword fell to the ground, and the person stepped back a few steps. It's too strong, just knock Ling Feng away so easily. Everyone was shocked. Ling Xiao still stood there lightly. Ling Feng was extremely embarrassed. I said, don't use gang gas, you don't have any chance. Ling Xiao said lightly. This Ling Xiao is really a geek. Demon. The chief referee shook his head and smiled bitterly. He thought Ling Feng was powerful enough and genius enough, but he did not expect that he would be steadily crushed by Ling Xiao without using gang gas. Fenger, use gang gas, no need to keep your hand. Ling Xian's voice rang. Ling Feng picked up the sword on the ground and looked coldly at Ling Xiaodao. With gang qi, all my moves and power will increase several times, you will definitely lose. The same thing, I just heard it, no more wordy, hurry up. If you didn't want to hone your fighting skills in this battle, Ling Feng could completely defeat Ling Feng now, and not give Ling Feng a chance to use it. After all, the warrior of the triple peak of Wumai, the qi can't use it freely, and it uses a little less. Unlike the 4 folds of Wumai, the true qi completely turns into gangqi and can be restored automatically. Ling Feng really didn't say anything, his long sword shook, and his chi had already been exerted. A sword pierced. Ling Xiao also just crooked the following head with experience. Jian Qi actually punctured his clothes. Quick sword. What a weird sword. Sure enough, a qualitative change. Ling Xiao was suddenly excited, and he knew that now the bull power alone could not deal with Ling Feng. It is useless even if it is added with the secret of viciousness. The secret method of breaking qi is the best at the stage of awakening, that is, the 3 points below Wumai. Once the qi is turned into gang, the effect is not obvious. If you break through the 4 layers of martial arts and enter the gang stage, you will completely lose your effect, so Ling Xiao does not actually want to use this secret method with little potential too much. Fortunately, after courage of viciousness was devoured by courage of nirvana, courage of nirvana came with its own critique effect. No matter what martial arts UUKeungshu.com exhibits through bull magic, it must be 2 to 3% stronger, which is also good, pretty good. It's a good idea to be able to evade me, but it's not so good luck next. Ling Feng thought that he could defeat Ling Xiao with a sword. Who knows that it just pierced a corner of Ling Xiao's clothes. There was some anger on his face, and the long sword shook again. The sword's shadow instantly turned into a few swords, as if the wicker had thrust into Ling Xiao from different angles. Not only that, his sword moves are not over yet. Wind Willow Sword. Lu is a bright move. The wind is a secret trick, but also a real killer. Few people noticed that there was a breeze blowing between the layers of wicker. Chapter 50, Really Angry. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Breeze Willow. That when Ling Fengjian made a move, everyone in the audience exclaimed. This trick was exhibited with gang qi, and its power, speed, and strangeness have been increased several times. Ling Xiao is undefeated. It's a pity that the kid named Ling Xiao could still maintain a winning streak, but he has no choice but to meet Ling Feng, who is condensed with qi. On the viewing platform, Ling Zhan, ranked 4th in Tian Kai Tang, could not help sighing. Ling Zhan said so. There must be nothing wrong with it. This trick depends on how you hide. Ling Feng's eyes revealed the colors of resentment and excitement, because he knew that he was only one step away from victory. Many people on stage showed expressions of gloating. Ling Chong, Ling Taiho, and Ling Xiren. These people had lost to Ling Xiao, but they were narrow-minded one by one, and they were not convinced if they lost. It always feels a shame for a little beggar to ride on their heads. Ling Yu's expression was even more wonderful. Her excited pretty face reddish, trembling, and stood up, waiting excitedly for the moment when Ling Xiao fell. She wants to cheer. If it wasn't for Ling Xiao, she could also qualify for the semi-finals, and she would definitely not be eliminated in the tens of thousands competition. Seeing the weird extreme Flyu Lu sword approaching Ling Xiao, some people worry, some people are excited, and of course others are happy. However, in the face of this trick, Ling Xiao just laughed. Come well. Then double fists blasted out. At that moment, a faint imaginary image appeared on his body. Still a barbarian. It's just that this barbarian is a little different. The phantom is significantly larger than before, and the horns are longer. Actually still basic martial arts, a referee exclaimed. No, this is no longer the category of basic martial arts, at least it should be advanced martial arts. The chief referee shook his head and said, is this kid able to transform martial arts by himself? Of course, Ling Xiao did not have the ability to transform martial arts by himself. All of this is due to the Niu Magong and Shan Wu Wu Hun. Bull Magong, bull demon, with a roar, terrifying true energy poured into the double fist, which was exactly the 2 horns of Niu demon, and struck the sword spirit of Ling Feng's Fu Lu Jian with the wind. Unfortunately, even if it is advanced martial arts, it is impossible to fight against the gang. This Ling Xiao is really not self-confident. It's better to admit defeat easily and better. Young people, it's normal to be arrogant. Many family masters in the stands are not very optimistic about Ling Xiao's punch. Go to death. Ling Xiao, defeat me, Ling Feng roared, and the rage that had been deflated for a long time in the chest was finally released. First, countless wicker swords hit Qi Ling in unison. Slap. 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 Continuous attacks hit Ling Xiao, making a sound like rain hitting the ground. It's not over yet. that the wicker sword gas attack was not strong and failed to break Ling Xiao's defense. Although Ling Feng was surprised, it was also expected. His real trick is the wind killing in the wicker sword spirit. Humph. Your gang chi is nothing more than that. Ling Xiao was a little disappointed. It seemed that the concentration of gang gas also determined the powerful laughter. There was only one martial arts Ling Feng, which was really not qualified to force him to use gang gas, even stronger moves. No need. Get me back, Ling Xiao roared. Her fists were already slammed against the gust of wind. At that moment, Ling Xiao looked more like a bull demon wrapped in true energy, and his figure vaguely became much larger. Boom. First, the wicker sword flew back and forth. Wow. Through the condensed wind, the gang was directly blown back. What? Such a domineering punch. Is this still true? Senior martial arts great consummation. It must be. Good boy, I didn't expect to not only upgrade natural bull power, but also practice to the great consummation, eh? Right, even the great consummation is not so powerful. This is the transformation. Advanced martial arts environment. How is this possible? That the sharp-eyed master finally found the problem. First is the basic martial arts environment, now it is the advanced martial arts environment. How many secrets of this Ling Xiao have not been exposed? Just when they were surprised, Ling Feng was a terrified look. His gang chi has been completely used up. At this moment, facing Ling Xiao's fist, he has no room for resistance, and can only hurriedly use a sword to resist. Long sword was shocked out. Boom. What? Clean and neat. Ling Feng did not have the slightest solution. The body flew upside down like a kite with a broken line, and the blood in his mouth spilled a graceful parabola in the air. It flew more than 10 meters away before landing heavily on the ground. This scene shocked everyone. Including the disciples watching the talents, also includes Ling Yiheng. It's really hard, this is unheard of. Where do they know that Ling Xiao's body has been strengthened by mountains, rivers, and martial arts souls, and has become so powerful as to be terrifying? Even if a warrior of the same level realizes the chi, it does not make any sense. He couldn't break his defense at all. Appeal dash. Withdrawing the double fists, Ling Xiao calmed down the agitated real energy, although it was said that he was not injured. After all, the first time he faced his opponent with chi, his chi was a little messy. This is too overbearing. At the age of 13, can he create his own martial arts? And he wins with his true spirit, and he wins. Such a genius, Ling Fifan can't compare. The elders of many tribes stood up. Including the extremely powerful referee. He already looked at Ling Xiao very much, but this battle still surprised him. It seems a little too much movement. Ling Xiao scratched his head. He did not expect that Ling Feng would be so easy to beat. It is estimated that if the opponent is replaced by Ling Yixue or Ling Yiheng, it is impossible to win by vigor alone. Ling Feng still missed a lot in this regard. Ling Xiaoxing, that the referee personally announced the winner of the contest. Shock is shocked, but there are still 2 battles not going on, and the knockout has to continue. Fenger. Ling Xuanhuan turned into a residual image and rushed to his son, quickly inputting his internal force to help his son heal. Fenger, are you okay? Dad, I lost. I actually lost. How could I lose to that little beggar? Daddy, you want to avenge me? Ling Feng lying on the ground motionless. Gang's gas turned back, causing him to eat his own bad fruit, and the meridians were almost completely split. This is not to blame Ling Xiao. www.wuxiaspot.com. Those gang chi are all Ling Feng's own, and Ling Feng's own control is not good. Ling Feng quickly carried away the person who took the medicine hall to heal. It is estimated that he could not proceed with the next duel with Ling Yiheng, but it does not matter. Anyway, he is absolutely impossible to recover within a month. That is to say, this year's big ratio for Ling Feng has ended early. His cruel remarks against Ling Xiao finally ended up self-eating. Sin barrier. Why do my children and you grievances actually put this poisonous hand? Cause his meridians to be broken, martial arts torn apart. Watching his son carried away by the people in the medicine hall, Ling 13 broke out. He jumped on the competition platform disregarding the rules. He knew that the Ling family had rules that he could not kill the children of the Ling family, but he couldn't take care of that much because of his anger. What's more, you can't kill, you can always abolish Ling Xiao.